Had a special privilege of sampling the Golden Jubilee edition of the limited edition spice rum from the Grenadian distillers, and I must say it's something that you should try. It is authentically Grenadian, but from the flavors to the aromas to the overall taste, the blend is great. It's light, it's golden like the Golden Jubilee, and I think you can make any collector's shelves anywhere in the world. Hats off to the Grenadian distillers.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sandy Manite.
Yeah. Yo. Welcome, riders. Welcome to the ride. Welcome to Tuesday on the ride. What's pissing you off? What's stuck in your craw? Stuck in your craw, man. Shirley, how you doing? As you guys come and go ahead and share up the thing. Share. Interesting, very interesting program here tonight, guys. There are so many things, ladies and gentlemen. There are so many things. Let me share. There are so many things that I personally want to get out there. And I know that you have stuff on your chest too. That's why they make Tuesdays, you know. That's why Tuesdays are here. Yeah. Velma, how you doing? Yeah, that's why Tuesdays are here. So we can talk about the things that is just pissing us off. And listen, I don't want you guys to hold back today. Denny's, how you doing? No holding back today, guys. Yeah. Shirley, thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. Guys, don't forget this program is brought to you with the kind All right. All right. All right. So you see what I'm talking about? So you see what I'm talking about, right? Thank you very much. I guess I was too pissed off and I came in a little bit too hot, and that's Facebook way of saying, calm down, calm down. You just need to calm down. All right, guys, this is what happened. I lost power. I lost power in my main computer, and then that's why the live my cameras, my audio, everything just went off. But let me know if you guys hear me now. Give me a thumbs up if you're hearing me now. Give me a thumbs up if you hear me now. Press love, thumbs up, whatever if you hear me right now. If you hear me now, just press thumbs up. Give me something. Yeah, we good? Now I have a system here, and for some reason, I checked out that about the computer, right? It is plugged in, but sometimes the power on it start to mess up. All right, we good? Good to go. Good to go. All right. So on Tuesday, guys, we do this program called What's Pissing Me Off. What's pissing you off, right? There are a lot of things that we want to talk about, guys, and like you just saw, this whole scene with this computer is already starting to piss me off, but I'm going to get past it, right? Today I want to talk about two things in particular. Guys, right? The first one being, I don't know how much of you guys been paying attention to this. Well, of course, you have to be paying attention to this because this is all that was broadcasted in. For yesterday, we had a long conversation about it, and this was in the news since last week. Now, three escapees from Grenada, three fugitives, three young men facing charges for rape and violence, gun violence. They escape lawful custody in Grenada. These three men then end up leaving Grenada, the jurisdiction, jumping on a yacht, and allegedly abducting and allegedly murdering the two Americans on that yacht. Then, between Grenada and St. Vincent, they allegedly threw the two yachties on board in the sea. That's the allegations. And they ended up in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. These three men were caught, and yesterday we heard that they were deported, right? Magistrate Colin John from St. Vincent and the Grenadines ordered a deportation from St. Vincent and the Grenadines back to Grenada. Now, these men were pled guilty for 4 additional charges, entering St. Vincent and the Grenadines illegally, plus a host of other immigration charges in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So they were deported from St. Vincent and the Grenadines back to Grenada. That happened yesterday. Now, I want you guys to take a look at this video, because one thing that pissed me off about this video that we're about to look at, I want you guys to pay close attention to it. Now, these are the three men that were caught in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's St. Vincent and the Grenadines right now. So they're taken out of the car, right? The first thing that pissed me off about this video, I'm going to start from the beginning, I'll play it all the way through, is one, as soon as the video starts, I want you guys to listen what somebody said. Some onlooker to what's happening there said, those are the Grenadians. So already what is established is that, you know, that whole Grenadian thing now is like a bad name for reckless behavior. That's the first thing that they said. Let's take a look at this video, guys, because this is really making wrong and this is pissing off a lot of people. Take a look and listen. Now, let's stop right there for a bit. First of all, I got to commend the St. Vincent and the Grenadines police, SVG police, because they really show how you should handle the process of detainees, right? These people, as you could see, heavily armed men to the front, to the back, and they carry them inside. There was no walk alongside of me or nothing like that. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines police took this thing and is taking this thing seriously, right? They understood what happened in Grenada, and they are serious about processing these inmates and ensuring that no hanky-panky taking place. So they handle the thing, they handle them boys and them, in and out of court. Continue to watch.
You guys still the US stuff in Grenada? No. Any comments? What do you feel like you've been sent back to Grenada? What about you, Mr. Mitchell? Were you involved in the killing of the Grenadian couple?
Handcuff them to it. Put Stanislas on the outside. Put him up this way.
Now, let's stop you there. One of the things, as you could obviously see, them guys and them don't want to show their face. And they are angry and agitated that there are cameras in their face. So much so that I think Santa Claus's name say, well, the cameraman. Because they hide in their face. They are ashamed, right? So as much as a criminal as they are ashamed. Alleged criminals for the murder of 2 yachties. They are ashamed that people are actually seeing their face, right? That is bigger than anything else that they could think about. Prison, nothing like that. They just don't want people to see their face. They're hiding their face. Let's continue to watch.
Yeah. Ready? Yeah. Handcuff them to it. Hold on, neighbor.
Ah, boy, he said, why is that? No, listen. You see what I'm telling all you? You see what I'm saying, guys? You see what I'm saying? These men is alleged to have committed heinous crime in Grenada. They are alleged to have taken control of a yacht and taking that yacht and heading to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where it's alleged that they killed 2 American citizens aboard that yacht. Now, they were caught, and what they're worrying about is the camera in their face. The guy taking the picture said, why is that? Oh, God, oh, the camera in my face. They don't want to be seen. Let's continue to watch.
Yeah. Ready? Yeah. Handcuff them to it. Hold on, neighbor.
Were you involved in the killing of the
And he's telling the cameraman, he's telling the videographer, the reporter there, I think it's Kenson Chance there, he don't want the camera in his face. Now, this story, guys, is international. This story is all over the place. And what we see in here, just at the face value, are these guys, man, they have no remorse thus far for what they are alleged to have done. They have no remorse. They escaped lawful custody fled to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, take control of a yacht, and is alleged to kill 2 individuals on that yacht. And what they're worrying about is camera in their face. They don't want camera in their face. They don't want people to see them. They're ashamed that their mother and their family members are watching this and is looking on. They don't want people to see them. That is what their worry and frustration is at this point. So the reporter, Chance, asked him if he was responsible, or if he were a part of the incident, the killing of the 2 Americans. And again, no remorse, he said to him, his sister and his mother. Now, is it possible that these guys don't really understand the possible trouble that they're in? Is it possible that they feel like this is going to be a walk in the park? This is not a real big deal. This is not really serious. Is it possible that they're just not really understanding the magnitude of the charges that is laid against them, that will be laid against them? Quite possible. Let's continue to watch.
Are you involved in the killing of the U.S. couple?
The sister and the parents, right?
Mr. Mitchell, you said you weren't resisting the arrest of the police.
Please, excuse me, please.
Tell me quickly. So you weren't resisting arrest? How did he come to St. Vincent?
The parents are question, boy.
How did he come to St. Vincent? The boat, the yacht? Did he come in on the yacht? Did the U.S. couple was on? Did he come on the yacht?
There's no picture.
Huh?
Are they happy? Okay.
718-701-5720. We're opening up the phone lines really early today, guys. We're opening up the phone lines very, very early today because I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that, what we just saw. These young men put Grenada on the map at this particular time for all the wrong reasons. At this particular time, if you've been looking at CNN, ABC, all the major networks, Grenada name is mentioned for all the wrong reasons. Caller, hold on one second. Caller, hold on one second. Let me put you into the system. Stand by. Stand by. Hi, caller. Caller, you're live. Hello? Hello?
Hey, Junior, good night.
Hey, good night, caller. Go right ahead. Where you calling us
good night,
from? Where you calling us from, by the way?
London, man, London.
London, yes, London. Go right ahead.
You know, and good night to you listening, public.
Yes.
Palma, anyway, I want to say, first of all, Junior, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at over the years of the way the transport police, not only in Grenada, but in the Caribbean, most of the Caribbean islands.
Right.
And I think the way we do things back then to now need to change. I think the protocol of transporting prisoners need to change.
Uh-huh.
You know, because this thing about having prisoners in the back of van and all this kind of thing, they need to change. We take things, security for granted too much. And this is why a lot of these things happening.
Mm-hmm.
We still going along with, you know, crime is changing, criminals is changing, things are changing, you know. Things have been getting more drastic, you know, and we need to change the protocol of security, and one of the things, transporting prisoners. Now, secondly, this thing about transporting prisoners in open back vehicles is a no-no.
Right.
Now, when prisoners leave a vehicle to go into court, I don't think there should be a way of the public have interact, you know, transporting them in the front of the public. Security and protocol need to change. And we're taking these things for granted. We're really taking these things for granted. The way we deal with security and things need to change.
Right.
And with prisoners need to change. Secondly, I observe certain things taking place in Grenada nowadays, where when police making arrests and stuff, and the public getting involved.
Right.
Now they're crying shame on the police when they take drastic action, but yet for all, when things happen, they're still crying shame on them.
Right.
Now, the way of policing have to change, and the police, sorry to say, but we want Grenada to be a safe place, and the police need to step up their game in the way they deal with people when they are arresting them and stuff like that, because I noticed a lot of things like where police are arresting people. There was an incident last week or whatever, and the way the police was trying to arrest a person, and the public is getting involved. All of them think is obstruction. All these people could be arrested. People need to let the police, go through the due process of dealing with, people when they're arrested, and the police need to take more proactive action. And I was speaking to a friend of mine tonight, right? And one of the next thing I have to say, the time span that they're giving police training to be on the street need to be changed, because I understand there's just a 6 weeks or 7 weeks training process before police start to go on the street. And I think we have a lot secret. We need to stop taking things for granted, and we need to beef up security because time is changing. Criminals are changing. A lot of things is changing, and we need to stop taking things for granted.
Okay.
And this is why we're getting these lashbacks on them.
All right. Thank you, caller.
We need to, yeah. Anyway, have a good evening.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, England. 718-701-5720. The first story we're looking at is this international embarrassment that is plaguing Grenada at this point in time, where 3 inmates escaped a police station and ended up in St. Vincent and the Grenadians. In the process, these 3 men is alleged to have killed 2 individuals aboard that yacht. This is a video of them following the court proceeding where they were deported back to Grenada. At present, they will report that they are back on Grenadian soil and charges will continue. They were charged in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for, I believe, 4 immigration-related charges. But Magistrate Colin John yesterday in St. Vincent and the Grenadines ruled that they will be deported, so they're back on Grenadian soil. And we're looking at this particular video as evident of what I see as little remorse and understanding of the criminal as to the problem that they could face ahead. We hear that the conversation between the reporter yelling questions and he responding in a negative way about your mother, and I mean it shows very little remorse and understanding of the potential problems that they're facing ahead. 718-701-5720, guys. I'm still taking your call. I'm still trying to understand. I'm still trying to feel you out on what your thoughts are on this particular video that circulated on social media today. These 3 men from Grenada who was then deported, ended up in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, alleged to have killed 2 yachties and is now being deported back to Grenada. 718-701-5720 is my number. Let me know what your thoughts are. Caller live. Go right ahead. Where are you calling us from?
Hi, Junior. Good evening. I'm calling from Canada.
Canada, go right ahead.
Junior, I'm looking at these guys on them, and these guys on them don't even have no remorse on the face. They're smiling. It's like what they do is okay. It's like you're looking at them laughing. They don't even feel sad, nothing like that. But what I want to make sure, I want the police on them to do when they're taking them to court, make sure that they have chains in their foot and in their hand. Even if they want to go to the washroom, make sure they leave the door open and somebody stay in front of them, make sure that they're there, because these guys and them have no remorse on their face. They don't even look sad. They don't do like it's a happy thing they do.
Right. But Caller,
And
did it
this
have
is
to
not
come?
nice.
Did
It's
it
not-
have to come to this for the police officers to take these strong measures when dealing with criminals? Shouldn't it be
Of course,
a
because-
normal thing? They should have done that from the beginning.
That's what I'm keep saying. This is something they should have do. Even with the one that get away from Grenville, I was saying the same thing. I was like, they should have close the door, but make sure they have a hole. And before the prisoner come out from inside the washroom, make sure you put on a handcuff. Because the one thing I don't find about Grenadian police, I find the lackadaisical. I don't find it serious. I don't find it serious at all. I don't find some of them doing the job properly, Junior. I might be wrong, but I don't find them doing the job properly. Because these 3 young men, even if they're in Central or wheresoever they was, I keep wondering how long the police get to know that the guys on them was missing, what the police on them was doing if nobody wasn't even checking up on them. And I was listening at Breeze yesterday, and I was like surprised to hear Breeze say that the prisoner always think about to go home. So you're making people feel like the prisoner is smarter than the police, and that's make no sense. The police are supposed to be smarter than the prisoner. If you always want to go home, then the police always have to check on prisoner when they have them in the police station. It doesn't matter what situation that the police station is. The police and them always have to pay attention to what is going on with the prisoner, because if you know the prisoner always want to go home, then always check on them and make sure that they're there. If they was doing that, this thing would have never happened to put Grenada on such a bad place right now, and this is very upsetting to me. I think they need to be more serious, even the one in Grenville. Like, you run away from the courthouse, what the police and them is doing. It's like they need to check up on themselves, and it didn't have to reach all day, but Junior, but this is what have to happen right now, because when I look at these guys, they don't have no remorse on their face. Thank you.
All right, Caller. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. Yeah, guys, we're taking a look at this video again. A serious situation. The news came in earlier today is that the New Today published that they understand that the 3 prisoners who escaped from South St. George Police Station and fled to neighboring St. Vincent and the Grenadines is now back on local soil. The 3 have reportedly confessed to St. Vincent and the Grenadines for killing the 2 Americans who were kidnapped at the catamaran boat which was used to leave the country. A Vincentian magistrate ruled today that the suspect to be deported to their homeland for entering the country illegally. All 3 are held in different police stations at this point in time, as reported by the News Today, 2 in St. George and 1 in neighboring parish outside of the city. For security reasons, the newspaper did not want to identify exactly the location of these 3 escapees. And that was, again, published by the News Today. And so that leaves a lot of people asking, shouldn't that happen since then? Why did something like that have to come up in order for the police to understand that probably keeping them in the same cell might be problematic? But now it's being done as reported by the News Today, that they're held in 3 separate police stations on the island for security reasons. Got another caller on the line. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Crown Heights.
Crown Heights, go right ahead.
Good evening, Junior.
Good evening.
I'm just looking at the video. I just hope that our policemen in Grenada take a page from the book from St. Vincent to see how they handle these criminals on them. It's unfortunate that they have to put our country on the map in all news media name. At church Sunday, one was telling me they call in Grenada spice murder. Come on, please. They created this problem after a phenomenal event, the 50th anniversary. Then they come and put our name on the map all over. And secondly, like the caller from Canada was saying, this thing with the police and this prisoner got away from Grenville, I think common sense. One police should have gone into the bathroom and probe the room, as we said. probe the bathroom. What if there was something they could have used as a weapon to knock off the police officer? You should have 2 policemen with them. And I think going forward, maybe they need to make some changes. Bathroom should have no door. And if they want privacy, half a door so you could see what's going on. They shouldn't have no doors sending these people in enclosed room because you never know what they could do. Because there is a piece of iron, they pick it up and knock out the police. So I think a lot of changes have to be made. The policemen need to go abroad and get serious training. Like in years gone by, on a Gary time, people go to Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, or someplace. They need to send them out and get proper training. And then you know what pisses me off? When the mother come making hulu, hulu, my son is a good son. Even over here, them criminals, when they should be in bed, they should wash their foot since 6, 7 o'clock bed, tail and go in bed. They're all committing crime, and then they're coming up on platform and in the media and saying that's a good kid. A good kid won't do that. You know, you need to know where your child is, and if you train them properly, they wouldn't be doing these things. And it's a good child because maybe when they steal and they bring things for them and they eat it, they don't ask them where they get it, the money. So that's why they say they are good kids. They need to train the children from day one, and the children would be like that. We're not saying all children would be that way. You'll train some of them, but they follow bad company, as we say. But most of the kids, charity begins at home. You are the first teacher. If you train your child properly, and you guide them, you know their whereabouts, they bring something you didn't give to them, then it will be a different outcome. So these criminals, they should send them down in the ocean, let them find the bodies. That's my take. Bye.
Okay, thank you, caller. Thanks for your input. 718-701-5720, taking your call live on air. Again, guys, we got reports earlier today that these 3 men are back on Grenadian soil, and we expect charges to be laid, addition to the charges that he was facing before they flee. I believe additional charges, fleeing lawful custody, and there were reports that these 3 men actually admitted to the crime of killing the 2 Americans on the catamaran. All right, that's report coming in from the New today. 718-701-5720. We're going to take some more calls on this topic. And then I want to talk about parents. I want to talk about parents in particular. And the role that parents and guardians should play in these situations. Because what we're seeing, guys, is for some reason, is either there's an absence of guardianship in a lot of these instances, or parents reach to a point where they feel, you know what, they just give up. They just don't want to be bothered anymore. Some parents probably even scared to confront their children because they feel like they would be victim as well if they decide to confront their own kids, right? So we're going to talk about parents' role in all of this. 718-701-5720. Let's talk about it. Guys, by the way, this is a video from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I do know that in Grenada, there is a special Chinese transport, a different transporter, which has full covering that they use to transport the prisoners, right? So I'm not sure that the open back concept is what is prevalent in Grenada as well. I've seen the transport that they use, especially taking them to court, and that's a closed-in vehicle, and that's I think it's some Chinese donated vehicle or something like that. That's what they use in Grenada to transport the criminals. So this is a video again from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as the guys are being deported or sent back to Grenada, and they're currently on Grenadian soil. All right, guys, let's talk about this now. Parents, I want you to chime in on this. What is the parents' role in all of this? I saw a video earlier today, right? And it's a very alarming video. Now, mind you, let me say something before I air this video. I don't endorse showing firearm, fighting, bloody interaction on this platform. We don't show it. But I'm going to show you a video that that's very concerning. All right, let's take this call and I'll show it to you. Caller, live, where are you calling us from?
Hi, Junior, New Jersey.
New Jersey, go right ahead. How are you?
Junior.
Yes.
These these guys had no, first of all, I want to send out my sympathy to the family, to the girl, the young lady that got gang raped. Please, I'm so sorry to hear about that. She'll finally get some justice. These guys had no remorse.
What was the verdict? What was the verdict? Because she had contacted me. Did they have a final verdict on it?
I'm not sure. I didn't hear anything about it. I didn't. I only heard it on your program. I didn't even know that happened in Grenada, to be honest.
Right.
And these guys had no remorse. There's one that look a little timid, and the other one look as the gang leader there that's in control. They had no remorse. They need to have some really stiff penalties for these guys, and they need to be in shackles. I'm sorry. More gags, first of all, you shouldn't be talking. Handcuffed and put together shackled. That's terrible. I feel so bad for the families, the young woman also in Grenada. I mean, something has to be done. Laws have to change. Stiffer penalties for these guys. No kind of remorse. None. I didn't see any on any of them face. I'm sorry. There's only one that kind of look as though he a little bit timid. But no. Something has got to be done. We've got to make an example of these people. Sorry. It's not happening. I'm really, really upset about that.
Yes.
Anyway, let's wait and see what happens.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, the young lady who, one of the individual who were gang rape, because I believe that there might have been a series of that. But in one instant, we spoke to an individual who explained that they were gang raped and they identified these young men as being involved in her rape. I have to follow up on the case and see how it's going. All right, I'll update you guys. Caller Live, where are you calling us from?
Crown Heights.
Crown Heights, go right ahead.
I just wanted to say this. There's a difference between a murderer and a killer. These young men are sociopaths, okay? They have no remorse, which means, hello?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
Hello?
Yeah, caller, I'm listening. Go right ahead.
Okay, sorry, I'm hearing an echo back. These young men are sociopaths, okay? They have no remorse, which means they have no feelings. They have no feelings, okay?
Hello?
Yes, I'm kind of confused. I'm hearing myself speaking back.
Oh, you're hearing yourself speaking back? Okay, hold on. Let me see.
Yes.
Hold on, sorry. Hold on a second. Are you still hearing yourself speaking back? Check. Are you still hearing yourself?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yes, hello? Yes.
Are you still hearing yourself, caller?
No, it's better now.
Okay, go right ahead. You were saying.
Okay, so I was just saying that these young men are sociopaths. They have no remorse. They have no emotions.
Caller, go ahead. We're listening.
Yeah, they have no feelings. You understand the amount of and then we have to understand also, right? What these young men have done is a heinous crime. We have to remember that we're living within the book of Revelations. Some of the things that these young people do nowadays are not normal human behavior. Okay? And also, I wanted to also say this. What they did could never be forgiven. But we have to also remember that their families are people too, and they have a right to feel their emotions also.
Yes.
We have to also remember there's also two families that's hurt here, that's going to be broken, destroyed pretty much for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
You understand? So we have to look at the big picture and not just, it's wrong. They need to be punished. They need to be, somebody said they need to be put in the ocean so they're going to go find the bodies. And I agree with the fullness of my heart. But we have to take it from a different level. These kids are not normal. They're not portraying normal human behavior. They don't have any feelings. Any normal person would be weeping, crying because they just realize, oh my God, look what I just did. You understand? These kids have no emotions, which means they're dead inside. Their souls are dead. We have a lot of our children are not portraying normal human behavior because demons are roaming this earth amongst us. It's written in the book of Revelations. We're literally living within the book of Revelations. And so we have to take this from a lot of different levels. And it hurts that Grenada My beautiful, sweet little island have to be having this kind of dark stains on it. But it's because of different entities that are entering into our island. It's a spiritual thing. You understand? And so we have to look at it from all different levels, not just what's directly in front of us. And then and that's all I needed to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. So someone just said to me there, after looking at this video and understanding what transpired with the Yarties. Now we have 3 men, right? And not one of them could have said to the other, probably we shouldn't. Let's not do that. No one, not one of them could have stopped. I mean, if it was one person, they're on a high and they have like tunnel vision and this is what they want. But there's none of them amongst 3 of them that could have actually employed some kind of reasoning to say, boy, listen, if we do this thing, we're getting ourselves into more problems, If we actually do these things that they are alleged to have done, murdering this 2 individuals on the boat, on the catamaran, we are essentially compounding on the fact that 1, we already, ran away from custody. 2, we have other crimes in Grenada that we have alleged to commit. 3, we steal somebody's yacht and we head into another person's country. And 4, we are actually gonna kill somebody? No reasoning whatsoever, guys. So it goes to show a deep, I don't know if a coordinative focus, a coordinative event to have done these crimes. And I was reading, and I saw a news article on this story. And one of the things that they said at the top of the news, these 3 men are from Paradise, St. Andrew. And the newscaster said, they named them and they said, all 3 unemployed young men. So I was thinking for a second there, did these men, or are they feeling like society failed them? Like they are who they are at this point in time and they don't feel equally a part of society. They're unemployed. They're not playing an active role in society. They're not, well, I don't know them to say that they're not doing anything uplifting or positive. I don't know anything about them. But based on these charges, it sure doesn't seem so. Excuse me. Yeah. So none of these young men were unemployed. So it begs the question. Social programs. Could implementation, because you have to look at it from all sides, could the implementation of more social programs to young men, could that have saved these young men? Are they in a space in their mind that they're thinking or they thought, or they believe in that society have failed them, they have nothing to live for, they have no focus in life, they have no future? Because if you have a future and you feel like, you're working towards something, you're going to stop for a second, guys, and think, I don't want to mess up my life. I don't want to embarrass my family. So you have to kind of reverse the whole situation and just put your minds in the minds of the people who do this crime and think to yourself, what would drive someone, 3 individuals, and not one person to stop from what is imminent and not thinking about what the compounding issue would be after this heinous crime is committed? Sad. So I was speaking earlier, guys, and I was saying about the parents and where are the parents in all of this to stopping this stuff before it even reached to where it is right now. And I saw a photo that was posted by a RRU officer on his webpage, right? And it showed a list, like a whole set of knives and spanners and scissors and all kind of customized machete, right? And guess where these items were found? Make a guess where these items was found, ladies and gentlemen. Take a wild guess where these items was found. Look at them. Now, these items, you might consider it as household items, right? It's knives, screwdrivers, spanners, customized knives and machetes. Take a brief guess, guys, as to where some of these items were found. These items was found inside of a school. Inside of a school. In a school. Look at it. In a school, ladies and gentlemen. In a school. Look at it. Now, why, and we're talking about kids from as young as 13, 14, 15. Young kids. Where are the parents in all of this? Where are the guardian? Because when I was 14 and 15, a lot of you could, when you were 14 and 15, you know what I mean? I mean, for one, your mother or your father or whoever it might be might search your bag, you might check your bag, or you might be scared that your mother or your father see anything in your bag that not supposed to be there. Much less to be carrying this type of thing. You would be scared to even get caught in school because police and suspension alone used to scare the hell out of me. Otherwise, you get some good licking. But forget the licking thing, that don't happen anymore. Forget about that. But where are the parents in all of this? Where are the parents? And the bigger question I guess we should ask. The bigger question that we should ask. Hold on, I'm getting some messages coming in. I'm getting some quick messages coming in, which is important, might be very important for this dialogue, for this conversation. Yeah. All right, I'll chunk it, what I got here, and express it to you. So where are the parents? Where are the parents? Let me show you guys this again. Let me show you guys this video. Look at this. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. This is a video in Trinidad and Tobago, right? With this young girl. Nice, pretty young girl. She can't be more than 12, 13 years old. Look at what she have in her hand. High-powered rifle. High-powered rifle. Where's she getting that from? Where's she getting that from? Where's she seeing that to want to display that on social media so publicly? Let's go back to the phone line. We got a call. Caller, you live? Hello?
Hi, Junior. Good evening.
Hey, good evening, caller.
I have a soon-to-be 27-year-old son.
Right.
And when my son's younger and I would drop him off to school, I'll make sure I check his bag before he get out the car. When my son comes home from school while eating or sleeping or doing his homework, I'm searching his bag. If I find a pencil or an eraser that I know I did not purchase, you're going to take it right back to whoever gave it to you.
Yes.
You're to come home with anything that I did not buy. Junior, my son lives with me in my house. And every now and then I'll go through him. Mm-hmm. He don't like it, but I'm just searching. You are my child. I got to protect you. I got to make sure that you don't have any illegal, not that he's going to do it, but I just got to search his room. Right. My daughter is 18 and she's a very, very, very good girl. She has no lock on her door. Mm-hmm. We removed the lock. The door could close, but we removed the lock.
Right.
I should be able to walk into your room anytime. You have no privacy. I'm going to knock to let her know I'm coming in. I wouldn't just open up the door.
Right.
Right? But this weapons that are found in school, Where are those kids getting those weapons from? Where is the parent?
That is the question.
Who are their friends? Right? Junior, my son, back in the days, he could have his friends come to the house, and his friends came once or twice, and they refused to come back because I'm questioning them. I'm looking at them like they a suspect.
Right.
But I would never let my son go and hang out with no one in nobody's house. You guys want to hang out with my son? He have all kinds of video games. You could come to my house and play video games with him. But because I was strict with his friends, they refused to come. And I told my son, if they refuse to come to the house, that is not the friends you want to be with.
Right.
Right? Junior, I'm sitting up one day looking at TV. Breaking news. Who do I see? That very same little boy that refused to come to my house, and my son said it's his friend. Guess what he was doing? He had a gun, and he went and he broke into somebody's house. My son came and he hugged me. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for not letting me go and hang out with him.
Yeah.
You know? So I think the parents nowadays, they are giving their kids way too much leeway.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have no leeway at 14, 15, 16. Nothing should be private. I'm searching everything.
Right.
I just pray for those kids, because if they have to go to school with weapons, something is wrong.
Yeah.
And we have to now not really blame the parents, but blame the parents, because I need to know who you hanging out with. I need to know what type of person this person is.
Yes. The parents.
You know?
The parent.
So yeah, I think the parents have to parent the kids and not be friends with them. And if you have a friend up there, I want to meet your mother. I want to meet your father. Right? You telling me you're going over a friend's house? No. You have to give me that friend mother's number, and I got to call her and ask her if it's okay for my son to come to the house.
Right.
And if you cannot give me that number, something is wrong. You're up to no good, so you're going to stay right home.
Right.
You know? Like I said, I was very strict with my son, and he didn't like it. But now he understands what I was trying to do when he was in his teenage years. I thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Back to the phone line is what's pissing you off on a Tuesday. Caller live. Where are you calling us from?
Junior, I'm calling from New York. Listen to me.
Uh-huh.
We know. I don't want to give my name because right now I even feeling scared. We know that some of the parents are not doing well with their children because some of the parents do the same thing. This is reality.
Right.
But it makes me to wonder, when I watch these three men, how they're behaving. Let us look and examine our police force. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Look at these three guys' behavior. You telling me these three men should not be together? And they needed very much supervision. As far as I understand, we had rookies looking after these men. We need to examine the police force, and we have to start checking for corruption because our country is going down, and we have to take a look into it because we see their behavior. They have no remorse. We're dealing with psychopaths. We're dealing with gang rapers. We're dealing with people who are not shamed. Long time people would hide their face. They would bury their head between their lap. They don't want cameras to shine on them. Now they have grin on their face. We need to examine the police force. This is serious. This is serious. Our country is going down. This is serious. We need to talk about corruption in the police force. This should never happen. Grenada is a safe country. It's one of the most peaceful countries we have in the islands when you compare to St. Lucia, to Trinidad and Tobago, to Jamaica. And this has to stop. They need to examine the police force for corruption. This is serious.
Right.
And I mean it.
All right,
the PM needs to look into this. Corruption in the police force.
Okay. Thank you, caller, for your input. Right.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, guys. So we don't know exactly the rank of the police officers on duty. So we can't say that it was rookie or not because we really don't know. All right, really don't know the rank of the officers at that point in time. But this information is going to be revealed. I will let you guys know. What's pissing you off on a Tuesday, guys? We're looking at this video and look at the global embarrassment that is the Royal Grenada Police Force has been facing over this past couple of weeks after these 3 young men escaped lawful custody at the South St. George police station and were able to grab a yacht with 2 yachties in it, 2 American citizens who is now alleged to be deceased at this point in time. Police in St. Vincent and the Grenadians say that these 3 men admitted to the murder of the 2 Americans on board that yacht. They were officially deported back to Grenada today, and at this point they're on Grenadian soil, and we are waiting for the updates on the charges going forward. 718-701-5720 is what's pissing you off on a Tuesday. Guys, I want to show you another video, and this is alarming, right? And we're asking the question, where is it? Yeah, here's the video. Here's the other video. We're asking the question, where are the parents in all of this? Where are the parents in all of this? This is another video, another shocking video. This is a young girl posing, taking pictures, video with a shotgun. Where are they learning that from? Why is that? Why do they perceive that to be the cool thing to do? Where did she get that gun from? This little girl. Let me tell you guys something. And a lot of people don't like to admit it, but I'm going to say it here right now. You see, the type of videos and music that is out there right now. You see the type of videos that is so prevalent that them kids and them love to look at. The glorification of firearms, the glorification of killing. That I was listening to a video, guys, and the song is a popular song, you know. And if you listen to the lyrics of that particular song, I ain't saying that the song is telling people to go grab a gun and put it up in the air. But the entire video is talking about badness is what we prefer. Boss a guy blown brain marrow. And all through the video, you see guns pointing in people's face. Similar to what we're seeing here. So it's a glorification, man. It's glorified by some of the artists, by some of the musicians, by some of the people who put out this content. And it influenced the minds of these young people. And they now feel, well, if I support an artist, and that's my artist, and that's how we move, that's how we dress, and sometimes they want to dress like him. Sometimes they want to do your hair. Even if you check, sometimes you see Beyonce come out with a new hairstyle. Then all her fans and supporters want to do the hairstyle like Beyonce. Beyonce come out with a new kind of shoe. Everybody want to put on that shoe like Beyonce. Similarly, the words that they say in the lyrics, the utterances, the visual display, the videos, very influential on these young minds. They feel now that is the cool thing to do. Put your gun up, push it out, shoot it, bust a gun marrow. That is what these kids are seeing. And what is happening now, I believe, that a lot of these young parents, a lot of these parents, they are relying on, from since the kid was small, from since the children were small, they started to rely on the iPad to raise their children, on the tablet to raise their children, on the phone to raise their children. So whenever they want to do their own thing or they don't have time, they put an iPad in their hand. They put a tablet in their hand. They put a computer in their hand. They put a cell phone in their hand. And then these kids now have ample access to everything. So if I'm a very young, tender age, You browsing through, because nothing's stopping them from going to a YouTube and watching any one of those videos, you know. And those brutal killing and slaying of people. And if from a very young age, their minds are seeing this thing and it's like a normal thing. Why when they get a little bit older, why would they change? Why would they separate from that thinking? Because you allow the iPad to raise the children. You allow the iPad, you allow the tablet. And once they're on the internet, once they're on your iPad and they're on the internet, their minds is like a sponge and they're sucking up all that stuff. When my son was much younger, one of the things I used to say to him, I don't want you to play no video game with no blood and all them kind of thing in them day. You play soccer, you play basketball, all of these things, but no video games with no kind of blood and robbing and thieving people thing and shooting them. You know, this type of games, no, you're not going to play them kind of game. I'm not going to buy it for you. And since you don't have money to buy it, you just ain't go have it whatsoever. Play, you know, this music game and with whatever, with the drum and the guitar and all of that stuff. And that influences his life because now my son is a musician, right? So think about it. If you train them to be hardened criminals running around with guns and Grand Theft Auto and sticking people up and shooting them in the head and thieving their car and all kind of thing, what do you think they're going to grow up to be when they get older? You think they will grow up to be a grand piano player? You think they will grow up to be, you know, they grow up, they would live, they would showcase, they would project what they see from the time that it was influenced because the parents, most of the parents and them, they already give them up to the iPads and the tablets. 718-701-572. Let me take a call on this, guys, because this is a serious problem. This is a serious problem. And sometimes we blame the children. We blame the kids and we say, oh, they're too bad and they're too this and they're too that. But what about the parent who's supposed to know better? The parent who's supposed to put in, you know, who's supposed to be guardian? Who's supposed to be there for the children? Who's supposed to have times when, you know, the kids could come to you and ask you a question, right? Nowadays, the parenting rule is if you want something, don't come ask me for it, you know, go and look for it on YouTube. Not saying that YouTube is a bad place. YouTube is a very educational place. But there are no boundaries. Once you get there, you're exposed to everything. Parents, where are you in this? 718-701-5720. Let us talk. It begins at home. And artists, I want to call on you because I believe in the last heads of government in Guyana, the Prime Minister of Guyana said something very, very important. He said that the region should take a very strong approach in not glorifying this type of gangster music, gangster life, guns, and all of these things. The region this Caribbean region should take a very strong arm approach in terms of this media that they showcase and that they promote, and the artists and the people. And artists, you too have to be responsible. Artists, you have to be responsible because you understand that you have the influence. To whom much is given, much is expected. Similarly, guys, think about it like this. As an influencer, as a media personality, what have you, there are people who might be influenced by the things that I say. In this instant, you might even see people in my position that might influence riots and people to go out and protest, all of those things, because influencers have that power to who much is given, much is expected. So the artist, you have to be responsible. You have to be responsible. It's your responsibility because you are basically carrying a flock of young people who are looking up to you, who are looking at your every word. So if you say badness is what you support, and bossa gun barrow and all of those stuff, that is what is influencing them. That is what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to be like you. They're gonna try to be like you because they are following you. You're very influential in their life. But you can't always blame the artist, because the artist would say, but I am just an artist. And also, it is glorified, because an artist sometimes, even here on the platform, sometimes artists would say, well, listen, if I sing a song about rejoice and non-violence and all of these great things, the video don't get more than 100 or 200 or 300 views. And life right now, everything is about views and what get more views. And that is life. That is how everybody look at things right now. What could get more views? What could get more views at the end of the day? So when they sing glory song and nation building song and supporting women and loving your women and taking care of your home, that video don't get no kind of views. But the minute time they start to sing about gunman shoot up this and blood up and this and that and the other, million views. There's a video there that hit what, 400 and something million views. And what the man talking about? Badness is what we support. Shoot up this one, burn up this one, gun up this one, bone marrow drop off. Eh? That's what gets the views. Sad place. Caller, you live, where you calling us from?
Hi, Junior. I called already, but just calling back again.
Yes.
I looking at you, right, and you show very interested, and it is very, very educational. And it's surprising that there is only 300 something views. And there is times I look at you show back and I'm like,
Yeah.
there is like 1,000 card, yeah?
Yeah.
But Junior, something to say. I'm a single. I have 3 kids. I have 2 boys and a daughter. And my son's like 26 and 24. And I was telling my son, I said, you know what, I'm proud of you guys. You guys are young guys. And like a single parent, you guys grew up with very good kids. Because I never have no problem with police. I never have no problem at all. So sometimes it's not the parents, because you have kids these days, the parents talk a lot.
Right.
A lot. They try, and them kids and them don't listen. Sometimes kids follow friends and they don't listen to their parents. So sometimes them kids and them these days, like they have a mind of their own. Right. Sometimes the way they do kids and them, sometimes them kids and them want to fight with their parents. And sometimes the parents and them is not young parents. Some of them are old, so they even scared of the kids because they're afraid the kids might hurt them. Those kids and them don't listen. They don't listen.
Right.
So it's not every time we have to blame the parents and say parents this and that. No. As you were saying, sometimes them children get influenced by the artists, the music the artists sing. Sometimes they go up on TikTok, they go on Facebook, and they see all those things on them, and they just use it in their head. Because I was showing my daughter the video, and you see this? I hope, and then she turned and she said, Mom, that's not me, that's them. Mm-hmm. So sometimes children follow people, that's it. So we can't blame parents, and sometimes them try and have a mind of their own. Thank you.
Right, thank you, caller.
And I would like to see more people view your show today. They don't. When you had the show, there was like 4,000 something, and today you have this one, and there was only 300. So it's sad though.
Yeah.
All right, Junior.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, what the caller saying makes a lot of sense, and it's very true. It's very true. But let me tell you something. Sometimes that gets into the minds of, into the mind of influencers, right? And they get carried away. I tell you this, right? People sometimes, they would do anything for that view. Now, Right Along Live, as you well fully know, is one of the most popular programs around the Caribbean. We touch every single island, every single day, on very different issues. And we understand what could bring out the 4,000, the 5,000, the 6,000 people. We also understand when we have conversations like these, we may not bring out the 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, but we understand that it's important to have this conversation, even if and when it's going to bring out these numbers, because it is important that we do that's our obligation to inform, entertain, and educate. That is our moral obligation. So because we could bring out the views, the 4,000 views, that don't mean we'll do it every day. or you might get one program like that a month. And like we did yesterday, a very interesting and entertaining conversation. And as like we're doing today, an interesting and helpful conversation to get things off people's chests. That is being responsible. That is being responsible. So the artists in particular, you have to be very cognizant of the power that you have with your microphone. You have power in your microphone. Caller, live, where are you calling us from?
Toronto.
Toronto, go right ahead.
Yeah, what I'm calling to say here today is that the other factor to kids doing a lot of wrong things today because of the music and the drugs and so on. One thing that I think the world must be educated about. A few years ago, I think it was Snoop Dogg I was looking at, and they asked him about, he was on an interview, and he was asked about would he allow his children to listen or to view some of his videos.
Right.
And his remark was, I make my video to sell, but my children are not allowed to listen and to look at those things because they're in it for the money.
Right.
The other point I have, I know a person very, very well, very close.
Right.
Right here in Toronto, who is a big marijuana dealer.
Right.
I don't think he goes beyond marijuana. And have other young people selling the weed for him. But he would dare not allow his sons to touch it.
Right.
And one time, one of his sons stole some and apparently sell it or might have smoked it. And the licking he gave that boy.
Right.
I mean, it was severe. And I know what I'm talking about. The mother had to keep the child away from school in order that the teachers would not know what is going on.
Right.
And so on. And it's a Caribbean person. And you know, we have this thing like rub them down with coconut oil.
Right.
And those are the things that she had to do. The child was kept away from school for probably a week or more. Because, and the warning from the father was, if I ever catch you smoking this thing,
right,
it would be a different story next time. But yet still, they allow other people, children to sell it. So I think that parents must get this thing in there to teach their children. The
Right.
people who pushes it, they're highly against the children using it,
yeah.
touching it, selling it, or anything, because they are in it for the money and the influence that comes from the music, where they have to buy these things, smoke these things, do all of these wrong things. They are protecting their children, so they gain wealth on the backs of other people's children who become so delinquent, and the future is gone.
Right.
And they can provide for the children to go to universities and so on. And I know what I'm talking about.
Right. Thank you so much, caller.
What I'm talking about, who I'm talking about. So we have to look at that and get the education out there that these people are only it for themselves. It's a very selfish act.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Again, guys, 718-701-5720. Where are the parents? Where are the parents? Where are the fathers? And, you know, we're going to do a conversation probably next week. Probably next week we're going to do a conversation, right, with fathers. Because fathers play a very, very important role in the life of a child. Very, very important. Now, mothers, hats off to you. Mothers, let me tell you, mothers are multitaskers, mothers are everything. Mothers are mother and father, everything in one. But a father is important in bringing up a child. Hence the reason why it took both of you guys to come together to make that child. The father is important. So men, let me appeal to you. Don't neglect your role of being a guardian. Because me, growing up, and most people most people, not all, most people, grew up having a certain, boys in particular, having a certain, I ain't gonna say fear, I'll say respect for their fathers. In a certain kind of way. One, you don't want to disappoint your father. Two, you're scared of your father. Me personally, I was terrified, petrified. And not like my father used to beat me and thing, you know. No, it's not like he used to beat me. I just had that, you know, when your father come, you square up. Yeah? But in a lot of homes, fathers are absent. Fathers are gone. Fathers are not there. For whatever reason, whether he didn't work out with the mother or whether the father just couldn't deal with it, some fathers just sperm donors, they hit and run, they're gone. But fathers are important. Fathers are important, so you have the mother now. In most cases, they have to be mother and father, they have to be sole parent, they have to provide, and in often cases, they have to provide for more than one kid. So he puts a strain on the mother. And sometimes you see these type of things happening. I'm not saying in all instances. Father, you cannot neglect your responsibility to be there for your children. Fathers, and as I said, me, Papa, when my father was alive, there are things that, boy, I couldn't do. Caller, you live. Where you calling us from?
Hi, good night.
Hey, good night, caller. Where you calling us from?
Congrats again. I've been
Congrats.
call already. Me
Yes,
again.
yes.
Yes. Okay. This topic is so close to me because I'm the mother of 5 sons, right? All my sons grew up in the same household, same teachings, same love, same emotions, same everything, right?
Right.
However, one of my sons ended up in and out of jail since a very young age, got involved in gang activities, etc. Right?
Right.
Now, remember, all these 5 men grew up in one household. Now, we sometimes forget that we make the children, but we didn't make their minds.
True.
I introduced my children to God in my womb.
Right.
Right? And as they grow up, I pour love and goodness into them the best I can with all my might.
Right.
Now, I raised 5 sons. I'm their mother and their father, which is a very painful statement to make.
Right.
Because now, I, as a woman, have to go into the bathroom and help my little boys, show them how to hold their penis and things like that. After a certain age, I cannot go to the bathroom with them anymore.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I'm saying this to say that our men is needed in a way that is of a matter of life and death for our young sons, especially our young sons, our daughters too, but especially our young men.
Yes.
Because I am a woman. There are some women out there that have raised beautiful, law-abiding sons.
Yes.
But they have to remember that these young men, some of our young men have wayward spirits also. Mm-hmm. We make them, but we didn't make their minds.
True.
Right? So some of our young men, remember this, right? I have 5 sons, right? I could teach them, hey, if you touch that fire, you're going to get burned.
Right.
But there's going to be one of these sons that will touch that fire because he has to learn that. That's just life. That's just the way it's made.
Yes.
Our men, others in these households are very much needed. It's a matter of life and death for these young men.
Right.
Our young men are roaming the streets. They joining gangs because of the male aspect of it. That's one of the reasons. There's not men at home. You know, I was blessed to have 5 sons, but my young boy still strayed, and it all began in high school.
Right.
You see, I teach him what I teach him at home, but when he goes outside, I have no idea what he does.
Right.
Some of us parents, we swear to God our children is perfect, and we have no idea the conversations and things that they're doing out there.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
So I'm not condoning anything these young men do, but we have to look at it. I love saying that we have to look at it from all aspects, from the big picture, because we as women are raising these young men with the best we have in us.
Yes.
But they need men because they are men.
Yes.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's one of the major issues that we have in our homes. Because honestly, a man is the head of the household, right? So if the head of the household is gone, or if the head of the household is rotten, what happens to the body, right?
Right.
So thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, we need to find and really build strong leaders, strong men. Let me tell you where some of the men are. A lot of the men right now are in jail. Sad to say, a lot of the men right now are in jail. Whether it's a systemic problem that got them in jail, whether it is whatever contributing factor that got them in there. But I paid a visit to the Richmond Hill prison in Grenada, right? A few months ago. It was Men Day, and we came together to talk about mentorship for men, to talk about upliftment and all of those things. I was a part of that. I flew from New York straight on to Grenada specifically for that men's summit. And one of the things that we were doing during that men's summit is visiting the prison. As we went to the prison, all right, you can't help but notice a very large disparity between men and women. First of all, where you were going, you didn't really see any women. All right, you didn't see any women. But get this, out of the prison population was about 400 and something. I stand corrected. Could be 300 and something, but it's in the high 300s or 400s or whatever. There were, say it was 400 inmates in total. 6 of them were women. And 394 of them was men. Yeah? 6 of them, because I remember speaking to the person in charge there. 6 of them were women. And they said the highest it ever been in the ratio between men and women, it was, I think, 12 women was the most they had in the Richmond Hill prison. And that was during the time there was a big drug, some drug thing that was happening in that region where a lot of the young women was, they was putting drugs in their body and trying to transport it out and stuff like that. So at the highest peak, there was at least 12 women in that Richmond Hill prison versus 400, 500, 400 and so. A 90 plus, 95% ratio between men and women. So the men a lot of them are locked up. Whether society have something that get men caught up and they get them into a cycle of prison and in and out of prison, whether it's the same problem that we face here where these young men didn't have young men as guardianship, they didn't have mentors, so they end up falling into a trap. And then once you're in that trap, you get yourself into problems. It kind of catapult and it just continue into a cycle where you in just a cycle of just getting in and out of prison and locked up, and it's a cycle. And these situations have to be stopped in some kind of way. It has to be nipped in the butt in some kind of way, because it's going to continue and going to continue and going to continue. So I believe that a lot of these men a lot of them are in prison. And a lot of those other men in situations where they probably cannot be in a relationship with the mother, so they separate for whatever grounds, for whatever reason. Some of these men still decide to come back and be a father to their children. Some of these men just turn their back forever and just look the other way and continue going forward. They don't look back. They don't come back and support. They don't provide no mentorship, no help, no assistance. In essence, they were sperm donors. And the mother is left carrying all the weight of the family. And it's not fair. And a lot of times, with the frustration and the anger and all the mother is going through, she cannot deal with doing that, supervising and being a parent to all the children and provide this type of support to all the children. So you would find situations like these. Now, as you said, you could have fathers in a household and mothers in a household, uncle, nenen, grandparents. You could have a whole slew, a whole generation and 2-3 generations, and you still find children going the wrong way. I'm not saying that that is not the case, but in a lot of instances, I could see how the absence of a father figure or a parent, how that could lead to breakdown in family structure. I could see it. So I promise you guys, and I'm putting that word out to my producer, let's have a conversation about rebuilding that family structure, because we as men or as mentors or people who see the importance of taking care of your kids, see the importance of being present in your children's life, see the importance and the necessity of being there for your children, watch them grow. Lord have mercy. I don't know what it would be like if I wasn't there with my son and he growing up. He grew up to be an amazing musician. He gravitated to it. I didn't tell him to do this. In fact, I would have liked if he was doing video, he could have helped me out more in the studio. Which he don't have a problem doing that, but his mind was to be that. And I think because he was exposed to all this stuff. So fathers, you see how influential your position is, just as being there. Your kids look at you. And instead of, they might get the influence from outside, They go see the guns, they go see the weed, they go see all of that stuff, But then they look at their father and they might say, I want my father to be proud of me. I don't want to, I see a mentor in this person, this strong black person who I respect as a father. And oftentimes they would revert to that rather than the noise that's outside. So I believe that's why I think that fathers are important. So, guys, to sum up everything, let's bring it back into perspective. What we need is mentorship. What we need, instead of being reactive to situations like these, the RGPF, the force, the RRU, mentors, people need to start going into the schools. They need to start going into the schools and talking to those kids. Provide community support, community centers, games. And if you have a community that don't have all of these things, where kids could go out and play, compete, basketball, things that keep their mind active, they will resort to all sorts of things, to idle. And in this particular case here, as I said earlier, these 3 men, one of the top things that is on the top of the news when they're being mentioned, they say 3 unemployed men from Paradise. What if they was employed? What if these men were employed? They were working somewhere. They had a 9 to 5. They had an 8 to 4. They had a responsibility. I'm not saying that this would have never happened. They probably would have never been in this position. Who knows? But I believe if opportunity presented itself, they would have probably been at work, or they would have probably been preparing for work, or they would have been thinking about some constructive way to make their life. So when you have a breakdown in society and you have a breakdown in opportunity, you tend to have a proliferation of young people that is too damn idle. They're too idle. They have nothing to do. They just idle. Nothing whatsoever. And it breeds all of this stuff. So there need to be more community, mentorship, employment opportunities, all of these things. Because jail is not always the answer. We need to we need to find out, we need to understand. And to me, the key word there is that these young men are 3 unemployed young men from Paradise, St. Andrew. Find ways to give employment opportunities. And you know, really and truly, guys, I think that even in the minds of entrepreneurs and people who create employment and people who have vision to start business, I think at the end of the day, the bigger goal should be really how we could employ people and move them up. Because the biggest success for me is if I could take someone who has current challenges and I help them to get to a point where they overcame their challenge and they're now in a better place. To me, that is success. That is a high level of success. Mentorship is important. So go into the schools, RGPF, go into the schools, counselors, talk to these young people, hear what their problems are. Some might be struggling at home. Some might not even probably didn't even get breakfast this morning, right? And that lead to a whole set of stuff, because if you can't eat, they come to school and they're hungry and they don't eat, and then somebody say to them, listen, here is some weed or some cocaine or whatever, just go drop it up the hill up there. When you come back with it, I give you $20, I give you $100. You'll be like, what? Then I could eat. Then I could get something to drink. And sometimes that is how the whole thing gets started. So we need to find out the problems that they have. The broken glass theory in policing is that if you see a glass that's broken over there, the glass is broken. You don't wait for it to fall apart. You don't wait for it to crumble. You fix that glass. You immediately fix that glass. And that's where you have to have community support, community centers, community outreach, mentorship, people with microphones, people who could actually make a difference, speaking. And don't just dam the bridge and say, well, they're done. They reached to a point where nothing could save them. No, you'll be surprised. You will be surprised of the things that could come out of someone that you deem to be unreachable, right? Anyway, guys, I thank you so much for even listening to me here today. It's important that we have this conversation. And even though we did understand that this live is not going to hit 5,000 views, it was important that we do it. It's not about sensationalizing topics. It's about reaching people, right? And this is responsible. And I hope that even artists take that responsibility serious. You tote your guns, you talk about killing, they're going to follow you. Don't just do it for the views. Do it for humanity. Do it because you're saving a family. Do it because you're saving a child. Consider that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program, guys. I'd like to big up and thank also Dela Mayer, the Strength of a Woman edition. This is going to be a massive event. The link is just in the chat there. Click the link and purchase your ticket. It is going to be an amazing event. Check out Dela Mayer. Maybe some more information on this event. Dela Mayer is presented by Spice Kid Promotion. The Strength of a Woman. Studio 718 at 922 Remsen Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Tickets available right now at $40. Flyer is right there. It's March 9th at a place called Studio 718, and that's located at 922 Remsen Avenue, smack dunk in the middle of Brooklyn. Doors open at 10 p.m. and the party down until about 4 a.m. Real party. Dela Mayer, The Strength of a Woman. Check it out. Click the link and get your tickets right now. Don't stick. Get it now. Get it now. Ride Along Live is also brought to you with the kind compliments of JetBlue. If you're flying to Grenada or any part in the Caribbean, you got to book your flight right now with JetBlue. Very competitive prices, fares, 2 flights per day to Grenada. Book with JetBlue right now. Go to jetblue.com. That's jetblue.com. If you're in Boston, Saturdays, direct flight to Grenada. jetblue.com. Check it out right now. Book now, book now, book now. Guys, listen to me. Listen to me. This weekend coming, we're going to be in Carriacou. Ride in Carriacou. You know, Ride Excursions and Tours, guys, is the fastest growing excursion company on the island, guys. So we're e-bike. Essentially, it's e-bike. It's electronic bikes, right? These are the bikes that it's just like a bicycle. You pedal like a bicycle. But listen, if you feel like you don't want to pedal, it's a powered. You just press the power and it goes. It's like a motorbike. It goes 20 miles per hour. Now you could rent these e-bikes. You could rent these e-bikes, guys, in Grenada right now. If you want to get around the city, you could rent these e-bikes right now. Or every week we have an excursion. Every week we're on an excursion. And this week, we're going to be in Carriacou. We're going to be in Carriacou from Saturday till Monday. Saturday till Monday. We heading to Carriacou for Ride Carriacou. It's going to be amazing, guys. If you're in Carriacou right now and you want to ride with us, it's only $250. It's only $250. Food and drinks included. Ride Carriacou. Ride in Carriacou. Want to see you guys there. Yeah, man. Yeah, riding in Carriacou. Riding in Carriacou. It's Ride Excursions and Tours in beautiful Carriacou. Don't miss it, don't miss it, don't miss it, don't miss it.
You ready for an exhilarating adventure? Then look no further than Ride Excursions and Tours. Get ready to explore the great outdoors like never before with our powerful e-bikes. Discover breathtaking sightseeing tours around the island. Feel the wind in your hair and experience nature in its purest form. Now, whether you're a seasoned rider or a beginner, our e-bikes are perfect for everyone. Call us at 473-422-1011 to book your excursion or visit ridersebikes.com. That's ridersebike.com to reserve your spot. Unleash your adventurous spirit with Ride Excursions and Tours, where every journey becomes an unforgettable adventure.
Planning and Development Authority of Grenada, PDA, is enforcing regulations to curb illegal, disorderly, and unauthorized development in several locations throughout the state of Grenada. The authority is concerned that structures mainly associated with vending are negatively impacting the environment, has undesirable public health and sanitation consequences, present obstructions to vehicle and pedestrian traffic, can become projectiles during adverse weather conditions, and generally affect the aesthetics of the nation. The PDA will work along with stakeholder ministries and institutions to effect the demolition, removal, and disposal of structures which fall in the category of illegal and disorderly development, commencing January 2024. In this regard, persons who vend in or occupy such illegal structures are advised to secure their personal belongings and have the structures removed ahead of the planned PDA demolition operations. These actions of the PDA have become necessary to safeguard and protect public health and the environment, ensure the safety and well-being of all citizens and visitors, discourage any future disorderly construction, and encourage compliance to regulations pertaining to physical development in the state of Grenada. This is a message from the Planning and Development Authority of Grenada.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sandy Manity.
Special privilege of sampling the Golden Jubilee edition of the limited edition spice rum from the Grenadian distillers, and I must say it's something that you should try. It is authentically Grenadian, but from the flavors to the aromas to the overall taste, the blend is great. It's light, it's golden like the Golden Jubilee, and I think you can make any collector's shelves anywhere in the world. Hats off to the Grenadian distillers.
Yeah. So we're going Carriacou. This weekend. Want to see you guys there. Book to be a part of Ride Carriacou. Thank you so much, everyone, for checking us out, liking and sharing. We appreciate you guys so much. On behalf of all of our production team here at Ride Along Live, we say thank you and good night. Don't forget, guys, check us inside the Esplanade Mall. Inside the Esplanade Mall, if you're in Grenada. We are kiosk number 3. Come and check out all the great things that we have. Come and rent a bike, vibe with us, chill with us. You could even advertise with us inside the mall. We have a 2 big screen TV now. You could check that. All right, guys, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We'll be back. Ride Along Live. Good night.
Advertise with us and reach millions daily, weekly, monthly. Yeah, over 10 million per month. It pays to advertise with us. Reach more and let us send your business viral. Advertise with us and reach more.